everybody, and welcome to the 37th episode of the Positively Disney Phone-In Show. Thank you for taking the time out of your day, out of your night, if you're on the East Coast, to spend a little bit of time chatting Disney, some positive things, a lot of positive things going on these days. I'm very excited to share. I'm Kimberly Bouchard, your host and the author of the Positively Disney book series, and I'm really excited because I actually finally get to send the fourth edition. The manuscript will be ready for the editors next week, and I'm super excited because there's a lot of surprise guests in that fourth volume. You know, I want to welcome not only my Facebook folks, but also my Twitch folks that some of you are out there following along and watching. I don't know about you, but we have a wonderful fall day, and I had kind of an extraordinary experience this morning. I had interviewed somebody that you guys all know and love, and his name is Mickey Mouse. Yeah, I got to interview Mickey Mouse this morning, and I'll tell you, I was just so thrilled to hear the story of the lovely person who's best friends with Mickey Mouse these days. And I can't wait for his story to come out in the fourth book as well. But I wanted to share with you something that honestly, I mean, I'm not a spring chicken, and I almost cried when Mickey actually said my name. So I'm going to see, I picked out the part in my interview with him that he actually says something to me. So I want to just share that with you now, and I'm going to see if I can, hopefully you guys can pick it up and hear it. So here we go. It's very short, very sweet, but here we are.
Kimberly, are you kidding me? It's been such a pleasure talking to you, and I wish you the best of luck with your book.
Oh my! So that was Mickey talking to me this morning, and I'll tell you, it was a lot of fun. I really get to meet some of the really good people in this world, and really amazing stories behind these people. I'm very grateful because I've always said, and I'll say it again, that it's the people of Disney that make Disney, both in the forefront and in the background, and even the guests themselves. And this is why I do what I do, trying to bring a little bit of that Disney magic into your home on Monday nights and have you share some of that along with me. Tonight, we are actually going to find out some of the inside information about the different dream suites at the Disney parks, Disneyland, as well as Walt Disney World. I don't know about you, but that would be a dream come true for me, to be able to actually stay in the suite inside the Magic Kingdom or Disneyland for a night. How cool would that be? I remember years ago when they had the Year of a Million Dreams, and I'll never forget that one particular parade, because there was a family that had been standing in front of us in the lineup to get into the park at Magic Kingdom. And as it turned out, that was the family that was chosen to be, part of the parade. And they were also chosen as people that were the front line of the parade. They actually got to stay in the suite that night. And I was thinking to myself, wouldn't that be the coolest thing in the world? And I kind of also thought, gosh, I wonder if we would have been just ahead of them, if we would have been picked, or I'm not too sure how Disney goes about doing that. But I thought, good for them. That's kind of a 1 in a million, 1 in a billion possibilities to actually stay there, be chosen to stay in the suites. So guys, I've got a couple of guests that I'm going to be having on the show tonight. One is actually going to be calling me. He's inside the park at Disneyland right now. And then I'm going to have another guest on the line that is going to tell us about the suite at Walt Disney World. And I don't know about you, but I think that it would be really cool to even do a tour of the suites. And I know some of the travel agents have the privilege to actually do a tour, but the fellow that I'm going to be calling upon in a few minutes actually stayed at the Dream Suite at Disneyland. and he's got a few other things that he's going to share with us about his experience. And I'm going to just give him a call. He is in the park tonight, and there is a reason why he is in the park tonight. This fellow that I'm going to be talking to, Jeff Reitz, he actually has he's in the Guinness Book of World Records for the number of consecutive visits at Disneyland. And I actually met up with him a couple of weeks ago and was with him for his 2,470th visit to the park. So he's going to share with us about his experience in the park. And I'm going to just try to get on the phone with him. We're just dialing him now. As I said, he is in the park, and we are just dialing his number to say hello and have him tell us all about his adventures, because the Dream Suite, actually, the name was changed. And I'm going to just tell him my name so that we are good to go. Jeff, it's Kimberly Bouchard calling. I hope you can hear me, and let's see if we can get him on the line here. While we're getting him on the line, I just want to say hi to my husband, Jacques, and hi to Carla, who is joining me tonight. I had the good fortune to meet up with Carla. And Jeff, I'm just going to tell you, it's Kimberly Bouchard calling. I know you're waiting for my call, and we are listening to the dial tone now. And let's see if we can get Jeff on the line. Hi, Tammy. Welcome to the show. Regina, nice to see you guys again. Thank you for sharing some time with me. Going to just get Jeff on the line here. It could be a little loud in the park right now, but I'm hoping that he will hear the phone call, and we'll get him on the line right away. And so I've just gotten a voice message. I'm going to ring through. I'm just going to message him quickly, and I'm going to see if he can call me at the number 844-483-4763. It's always kind of tricky when you're trying to dial out to get somebody on the line, because even though they're expecting your call, sometimes something can just come up last minute. And if he's in Disneyland, I'm sure it's pretty noisy, pretty busy there. But he's really looking forward to coming on the show. So I met Jeff just a little after he walked through the gates for the 2000th time in Disneyland. And some people think, oh, he goes there every day, all day, every day. He doesn't go there all day, every day. He goes there and he will spend, a couple hours or whatever he can after work. And he does it for a really neat reason. And it was really fun meeting up with him and listening to his story a little bit when I had a chance to a couple weeks ago. But his story is actually, his full story is in the fourth book as well. Carla, yeah, it was really fun meeting you at the Disneyland event. Carla's just talking about that. And it's always neat to run into people that you see them on Facebook, and you never know, who's going to show up and be around you. And it was just really nice to run into and put a face to the Facebook name. And we're going to just give Jeff another quick call. I know that he is around waiting for my call. Tammy said, I wish that we could have made the event. Yeah, that would have been really fun to meet up with you, but I will be back in California. Not 110% sure when, but I think it would be really fun to kind of have a little meetup and say hello to you guys, my California people, because I tend to go to Walt Disney World more than I do Disneyland. So we're giving a call to Jeff one more time to see. I think, hey, Jeff, we got you on the air. Yay! How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Yourself?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks, Jeff, for taking some time out of your Disney visit. I just thought I sort of told people a little bit that we met up a couple of weeks ago, and that you have the world record for consecutive visits to Disneyland. And I didn't want to touch too much on that because that's going to be in the book. But can you tell us today what number this is for you?
I am currently in New Orleans Square on day 2,480.
2,480. I don't think anybody is ever going to break your record, Jeff. So just keep going. All the power to you, I'll tell you. Anyways, Jeff, I'm so excited to have you share with us about your experience in the Dream Suite. But the Dream Suite has changed its name at Disneyland.
That's correct.
And it's called, is it the Royal 21? What is it called again?
It's now called the Residence at 21 Royal.
Okay, the Residence at 21 Royal. That is, do you know when that changed? I actually, I don't think I know when that changed.
It actually just changed around the beginning of summertime.
Okay.
It's actually a fairly recent change they just did.
Okay.
I think it came about, they haven't been using it as the Dream Suite as much anymore.
Okay.
And now they're using it, the 21 Royal for the VIP dinner experience.
Okay.
And so I think that's what prompted the change.
Gotcha. And for our listeners' sake, because I know a lot of the answers to the questions and all that, of course, but tell us where this suite is in Disneyland, because it's very different than Walt Disney World.
Correct. Walt Disney World has theirs in the castle,
right? Where
the castle here at Disneyland is much smaller and already has the Sleeping Beauty walkthrough.
Okay.
So in 2009, when they had the year of a Million Dreams, the Imagineers picked up the old plans and reimagined what was at one time the Disney Gallery in the area above the Pirates of the Caribbean and Port Orleans.
Okay.
That was actually supposed to have been Walt's suite for him and the family. And when Walt passed away, the construction workers all basically just put their hammers down and walked away from the project.
Okay.
And so it sat vacant for years. And then they finally put it to use as the Disney Gallery for quite a while.
Right.
Until it came up, like I said, for the Year of a Million Dreams.
Yeah.
And once Disney World had created their suite inside Cinderella's castle,
right,
all that they had over here at Disneyland was they're using one of the suites inside the Disneyland Hotel, which is cool,
right,
but it's not the same as getting to stay in the park.
Yeah, for sure.
And so they went back and the Imagineers pulled the plans and they did what they could to reimagine the Dream Suite as Walt William had wanted it.
Okay.
And then added some touch-up imaginary magic to it.
Now, I'm curious.
Yeah,
and Jeff, I'm kind of curious to know, because Walt has his apartment in Disneyland above the fire station. And did was that more for the family to be at as well? Are there rooms in there for people for him to stay? Or I'm just curious why they might have did something different than at the apartment.
Yeah, Walt's apartment above the fire station is just a little, basically a studio, one room apartment.
Oh, okay.
Whereas the suite is actually 3 bedrooms. But they use, as the Dream Suite, they would use 2 bedrooms and the living room. And then you also had the back patio.
Okay.
The 3rd bedroom, which was being used to keep things like the captain's chairs for sitting out on the balcony. I just posted a picture, in fact, of myself where you can see the balcony behind me with the new 21 logo.
Okay.
As a staircase.
Okay.
And so when you had a chance to stay there, they would pull out captain's chairs, basically, so that you could sit on the patio to watch like Fantasmic and the fireworks that night while you were staying there.
Gosh.
And so they were keeping the chairs in that room and such. And now that is the dining room. And so if you're coming in towards the New Orleans area along Royal Street,
Okay.
there's 3 balconies before you get to the exit for Pirates of the Caribbean.
All right.
And that room where the dining is would be above the second balcony.
Okay. So when there's a dining room in there, so is that so anybody staying in there can have their food brought in? Is that sort of the idea, like sort of like a room service idea, or?
It's actually more along the lines of a VIP treatment in that it costs about, I forget the exact numbers, but it's around $15,000 to do for up to about a party of 12 or so.
Oh, gotcha.
But that area, you're actually connected to the Blue Bayou
Restaurant.
Well, the restaurant, but I was going to say the kitchen.
Oh, okay.
And so it is a special meal prepared for the guests that are going to that dining room.
Neat. So
And
that's very intimate compared to Club 33.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, not even Club 33 members have had the opportunity. Some have, but
Yeah.
not all of them. I know some people have had the opportunity to go and experience that.
Very
yeah,
cool.
not everybody has, especially like I said, when
Yeah.
the price tag is around $15,000.
Right.
That's only for a few hours time.
Yeah,
Still,
of
you're going
course.
to have to get your tickets and everything else.
So can anybody just pay to stay in the suite?
No, when the suite was open, you could not purchase the suite.
Okay.
It had to be given to you either as a gift from Disney, or they had some radio or TV stations that had it, or like during the Year of Million Dreams when they would pick one winner to have the opportunity for them and their family to stay in the Dream Suite. For myself, it was given to us as a gift when we completed our first year at the New Year's 2012. We met Tom Staggs, who is then the Disney Parks and Resorts chairman,
Okay.
in front of the castle. And that was one of the gifts that was inside the gift basket that he presented to.
Oh my word! You must have been shocked.
Yeah, extremely. So, yeah, that was given to us,
Wow.
like I said, December 31st, 2012.
Wow.
And then we actually stayed in the suite on August 31st, 2013.
Wow.
And that was actually, if any of your listeners are people that have taken part in the Disney Marathon,
Mhm.
that was actually the weekend of the Disney Marathon that was happening.
Wow.
And unfortunately, we didn't learn about the routes precise enough. Saturday was a 10K. They ran through New Orleans underneath the street. But on Sunday for the half marathon, when we were waking up, they actually came from Main Street in through Frontierland up to the Mark Twain dock, and then made a right turn around behind Big Thunder so that they could then come out and come through the castle.
Gotcha.
Because our plan, we had actually gotten special request that we put in, thinking that they were going to be run below us, and we got them to open up the patio door so we would be able to go out and cheer the runners on, because we knew some of our friends were going to be running. So since they didn't come all the way over, we weren't able to cheer them on as well.
Right.
So
Now, can you tell us a little bit, Jeff, like, what's the setup like inside? What is it like to walk through the doors? And can anybody just kind of take a peek in if they're at the park? How does that work?
No, it's all upstairs in New Orleans.
Okay.
So the closest that you can get to looking in would be when you go over the bridge in front of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay.
You can look, as you look towards Pirates, you can actually look and see the front doorway, which is directly above the entrance to Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay.
They have the 2 staircases on either side, of the Pirates entrance, and that's two ways that you could get up. The other way that we got up and down from the suite was through an elevator, which if you go through the left-hand line, the queues for Pirates,
right,
you go right past the elevator now in between Pirates and Tarzan's Treehouse.
Gotcha.
And so that's the other way that they have guests go up and down, or how they would bring our luggage and such.
Okay. And what?
Because you don't actually bring your luggage in; it's actually brought in for you.
Okay, well that makes sense. Walk us through when you walked in. What was it like? Tell me about it. And what? Yeah, just some details about what it's like in there.
When we came in, they actually took us originally through the elevator. They bring you up, and so you're coming in through the back door, and they're giving you a little history about the whole experience, and basically a synopsis of what I just told you about when Walt passed away, and
right.
they decided to recreate it. So they go through and tell you that, and they walk through the suite. Now, if you come around and you come through the front door, when you enter the front door, you then have the main entryway, which is basically the sitting room, and from there you can go around the back patio, where there was chase lounges. In fact, while we were staying there, it was so warm, my parents actually stayed on the back patio on the chase lounges, and that's where they decided to sleep back there on the patio because it was so nice out with the weather.
Oh, wow.
Now, for the other side, if you go in to the right, basically going towards the Haunted Mansion,
right,
that would put you over into the Frontier Suite, which has 2 queen-size beds, along with lots of magic and a small restroom. And that is also the way that you get out to the patio, the balcony patio, where you would be able to look down over the square to watch Fantasmic and the fireworks. If you're looking up, you can actually see the gold letters of W and RD and WD as Roy and Walt Disney.
Nice.
And so that was some of the embellishment that was put on as the decoration.
Yeah.
So that's one room. Or if you, from the main entry, if you go into the left, then you come around to the Adventureland Suite, which is where I stayed. And that was actually supposed to have been Walt's room. It has a king-size bed in it, along with an attached walk-in closet, and also the bathroom that has a jacuzzi tub in it that has its own hidden Mickey Disney magic. So, and some of the neat things that you don't think about when you go to stay in the park is when you're walking through the park, a lot of the noises and sounds that you hear, don't stop. So, like the girls, when they woke up over on the Frontierland, they started hearing trumpets of the New Orleans cue or area music going off about 4 in the morning. For myself, after we did our after-hours walk and got back to the suite about 1:30 in the morning, I sat and watched Pirates of the Caribbean on the drop-down Blu-ray screen in the living room. And then as I went to bed around 3 or so, I was going to bed with the animals over in Tarzan's treehouse.
Oh, of course they're going to be doing like sound checks and tests of that when the guests are to the park, right? Now,
they actually leave those sounds running around the clock, just like the Small World. How the Small World clock is continuously run. So same kind of thing.
So if you're going to go sleep in the Dream Suite, bring some earplugs so you can actually sleep, right?
It wasn't too bad, but it's a different experience.
Yeah.
Because I was the last one that was awake that night since I wanted to stay up. They had a drop down. A retractable screen that came from the ceiling with a Blu-ray DVD player, and so I wanted to be able to experience everything. So as when we came back,
Yeah.
what better than to throw on Pirates of the Caribbean?
Perfect.
Have,
Yeah.
have the sound system going at 2:00 in the morning. So I watched that before heading to bed. And so everybody else was kind of asleep, so I was really able to hear
Right.
the sounds of the area.
Yeah. So what time are you sort of allowed to go into the suite itself, and what time do you have to leave?
Yeah. One of the things about the Dream Suite makes it where it's not as nice as say staying in say the Disney hotel or the Grand California.
Yeah.
Is you don't actually even get 24 hours.
Okay.
When you first got there, you would park. You got the valet park over at the Grand California,
Right.
and turn your luggage into the valet there.
Mm-hmm.
And then about 2:30, we met up with our guides over in the lobby.
Okay.
And then we got our luggage from the valet and gave it to the guides that would then take it backstage
Right.
to deliver it to the room.
Right.
And then we walked over from the Grand over through the park. And with our guide, we went down Main Street over to Memorial Square to then enter into the suite. Okay. And so by the time we did the tour, it was about 3:00 or so once we were done the tour and had our basically free reign.
Yeah. I was wondering, are you still there? Something's gone quiet on me. I'm not too sure. Jeff, are you there? I just lost you. Oh, Jeff. I'm wondering if we have to call back, because there's something kind of cool that happened while they were there that evening. We're going to just give him a quick call back because for some reason the sound, we lost him. Maybe he's in an area in New Orleans Square that cell connection cut off. Before as we continue to go on with the show, I just want to welcome Mike Flynn. Thank you for joining us, Mike, tonight. And we're going to just give Jeff a quick call back because I want him to share with you something that they did in the middle of the night, which is really cool. Let's see if we can get Jeff on. I can hear the dial tone and see if we can get him back online. Hopefully his cell phone hasn't. Hey, Jeff.
Hi, sorry.
Hi.
The signal over here must have jumped out on me. We've got a lot of Santa Ana winds blowing around today.
Okay.
So I'm tucked back inside. I'm actually back in the corner of New Orleans Square, right in front of the old Club 33 door.
Oh, cool. Jeff, there's something that you sort of just mentioned about when you got back after, like it was kind of late at night when you got back, but there's something that you guys, I think you guys did it, but you guys went out in pajamas. Is that correct? Can you tell me?
Correct.
Tell me about that. That's so fun.
One of the things you get to do is they would take you for an after hours walk through the park. And so you had your big fuzzy bathrobe, and you could put on your PJs and slippers. And we took a tour and just basically walking around and doing photos all throughout the park in our pajamas and bathrobes.
Oh my gosh! What a riot!
So,
where are some of the photo ops that you had in your pajamas?
We went up to the front of by the flagpole.
Okay.
And then we went back to the partner statue at the hub and the castle. We got pictures over at the wet ball over in Tomorrowland, or over at Small World. And then we also got to go inside the Golden Horseshoe and have a seat and walk box on the right-hand side and get pictures of us sitting there as if they were watching a show in our bathroom. Different things like that. And we walked throughout the whole park in the time we had, getting pictures in front of the Haunted Mansion and everything else before having to return. We only had a limited amount of time,
right?
Because once the rest of the general guests were gone, they did start their after hours cleaning and everything.
Sure.
So the power washers were out and everything else.
Right.
So that was one of the reasons we couldn't just stay out all hours of the night. And in what I was saying about only having limited time, one of the other differences of staying in the hotel versus staying at the Dream Suite was that when the park closed, your doors closed.
Oh.
So at midnight when the park closed, they locked the patio doors, so you couldn't go out on the balcony anymore.
Okay.
You couldn't go out, so everything was bolted down because they didn't want people just wandering through the park. You were spending the night in the park.
Right.
So you were confined to the rooms of the suite.
Right. Oh my. I think that is just a hoot, Jeff. I can't even imagine walking around in my PJs and slippers. That must have been, I mean, you and your party must have had just a great time.
It was a bit fun. It was a bit of fun. We had, there was a number of people that came up to join us upstairs to watch the fireworks and Fantasmic.
Nice.
I had my, because we had room for up to 6, I had my parents came and stayed with us.
Yeah.
And then it was Tanya, and she invited one of our other friends to stay with us. So there was the 5 of us that spent the night.
Wonderful.
And then after, once the night was over, the next morning, they got us up and you packed up all your bags and put them at the door, so that we then left and went over to the plaza for the character breakfast with Minnie and Friends.
Nice.
As part of the package. That was your morning breakfast when you woke up.
Nice.
And that also marked the end of your experience. When you left the suite to go to breakfast, you did not return to the suite.
Right.
And so about 9:30 when we left, we went and had breakfast. Our luggage was then taken back over to the Grand and put in the bellhop closet.
Yeah.
And so we came and retrieved it.
Fantastic.
So,
I have to ask, because I have 3 kids and 2 of my sons, they eat all the time. Did they have snacks? Did they provide snacks for you, or did they have like a little refrigerator in the suite itself? I was just curious to know.
Yes, actually both of those. They had snacks like the flavored popcorn bags. They had chips and snacks like that.
Nice.
There was a mini fridge that had they asked us what kind of drinks we liked, so like Cokes or Sprite and things like that. And so they had a stocked mini fridge with all the drinks and waters and stuff that we wanted. And then being that we were all adults, we got an arcade, and part of the party brought up a bottle of champagne to be able to toast the evening in style. Because of it being brought into the luggage, it wasn't actually brought into the park on our side, so they were able to okay that to be done.
Right.
So that's not something. And then just like going up to the Mark Twain Wheelhouse, they also have a logbook that you got to sign before leaving. And they also had other little gifts. Like there was a crystal bowl for both of us up there that had like a special little Mickey Mouse and some chocolate and gifts and things. And it had it was etched with our names and the date that we stayed in the Dream Suite.
That is just incredible, Jeff. Wow. That is something that you will never, ever forget, I'm sure. Wow. That is...
It was an experience, and it was neat for me because that experience in itself, was a different experience for me. But then, you know how you have those once-in-a-lifetime experiences, and then it's like, oh man, I wish I could go back and relive this.
Yeah.
Well, I was lucky enough because 2013 was the year of Disney Time Magic, or Limited Time Magic.
Okay.
And I was lucky enough to win the opportunity through the Parks blog to go back up that October with an Imagineer that helped to redesign the Dream Suite and go through to get more photographs and actually learn more history about the creation of the Dream Suite. So
Oh,
I've actually got to go up there 2 times.
wow, that is really awesome because I mean you don't get those, you don't usually get second chances. You know?
Exactly.
Oh my gosh,
So,
Jeff. Wow.
yeah, so that made it, that was actually a lot more fun, getting to go up there with the Imagineers
Yeah,
and
I
really
bet.
learn about all the things that I
Yeah.
got to experience and, what was planned out and how it actually turned out. Things like
For
that.
sure. Oh my word, Jeff. Thank you so much for coming on tonight and sharing with us because, most of us, I would say majority of us listeners would never ever get in there. There are the occasional people that do a tour, but to stay in there is a very, very slim chance, I think. But I just really appreciate you taking a little bit of time from your evening in Disneyland. And where are you headed to now in the park?
I'm actually going to go in to go visit the Pirates of the Caribbean. I figured I'm over here, so I'm going to go on in and go see Captain Sparrow and the rest of the crew.
Okay.
And then go get some dinner and go about my evening.
Sounds.
But yeah, also, you had talked about the tour.
Yeah.
For a while, guests were lucky enough, while they had Walt's apartment with the firehouse under refurbishment.
Yeah.
Karen was actually lucky enough that she got to do the Walk and Walt's Footsteps, and so she got to go up to the Dream Suite with that tour to get to look around.
Wow.
So
one day.
And because right now they no longer offer that as part of the tour. It's back
I know.
to being into Walt's apartment.
Right.
Since now, like I said, the suite being part of 21 Royal with the special dining.
Right. Yeah, I get that. Well, one day a girl could dream. Oh, that's
Exactly.
great, Jeff. You know what? Thanks again. I'll be thinking about you on that attraction because that is one of my all-time favorites, Pirates for sure. And really enjoyed our time there a couple of weeks ago, and it was really fun meeting up with you and Karen and getting a little wee bit of history on our way out before we got booted out from the Halloween party, huh? Anyways, I hope to see you again sometime, Jeff. And listen, have a great night. Take care, all right?
Thank you. You too.
Okay,
Bye.
thanks. Bye. Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine being in my pajamas and slippers, walking around Disneyland. That is absolutely out of this world. I would be like, I don't even know if I could put that on my bucket list, but wouldn't that be like the coolest thing ever? I'm telling you, I'm just like, I'm going to dream about that. I'll tell you. I've got another guest that I want to reach out to who's on the other side of the continent. He is in Florida, and John Little, we're going to get him on the line. And he had some inside information about the Dream Suite at Walt Disney World and about a particular guest that stayed there the day before he actually got on tour. And I don't even know, I know he was asked to go on tour, but I don't even know how he got on there. So we're just going to get John on the line here, just hearing the dial tone now and see if he is still up. It's 3 hours ahead. Hey, John, it's Kimberly Bouchard. How are you doing?
Kimberly Bouchard, I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm great. Thank you for hanging in there because I know it's a little after 9 and I'm so excited to talk to you too because I just talked to my other guest who was talking about the Dream Suite at Disneyland on Pirates. But I mean, the Walt Disney World Suite is in Cinderella Castle itself. But I first want to find out, how in the world did you manage to get into that suite? Because it's not an everyday occurrence. So tell us about that. And I just think absolutely wonderful and good for you for getting to go in.
Thank you. Yes, I think it was a little bit of Tinkerbell's pixie dust that happened to be arrayed that morning. And I was asked by one of the cast members from City Hall if I would like a tour. And she cleared it through her management, and Disney said yes, I could go up there and see the Castle Suite.
Wow. Did you expect that the morning you were walking through the gates?
No, I did not. See, I always stop in and say hi to the City Hall people because they're some of my favorites there. And she was asking me some questions, and she said, "How would you like to go for a tour?" And I said, "Are you serious?" And she said, "I'm very serious."
Oh.
And I even got it's not activated, but I have the plastic key that unlocks the door to Cinderella's main room there.
Oh my word. How now, I mean, we all know I'm always, whenever I'm there watching the fireworks, I'm always kind of looking at the castle to see which room or which window goes to the suite. I would imagine the window looks out to Main Street. Is that correct? Would one of the windows look out to Main Street, or?
Yeah, it looks out to Main Street, but you look, the window I looked through looked right into Liberty Square, and but it's thick lead glass. It's hard to see out. You had to get up really close to the little center pieces of glass to look out and actually see, down below. I mean, you can see, guests walking around and things like that, and the different vendors, but it was very nice. And then it's located just above the restaurant at Cinderella's Table, and it's on the 4th floor of the castle.
Okay, I was gonna ask how high up you were in the castle. Like I couldn't imagine you being like in one of the turrets, but I was just kind of curious to know. So, John, how did you get up there? Can you let us know how you got up there? Or?
There's a chic elevator through the walkthrough. It's behind a door, and it looks like just an ordinary door, but when you open the door, there is an elevator there, and we had a special key that she had, and she was able to unlock the elevator and take me inside. And inside the elevator now, it wasn't so glamorous in the elevator itself. It had a lot of quilting hanging down because she said they move a lot of equipment back and forth because of the Mickey Mouse performances and everything that goes on in front of the castle, and there's various things being moved that way, so they keep the walls of the elevator protected, with drops. So, but going up in, it was very nice.
Oh my gosh! So tell me, what is it like to go in there? Like, what did you first walk into when you get off the elevator?
Well, when I first got off the elevator, it steps you right into the main, room where you sleep and the TV is, and the fireplace, and the royal telephone, which is under a box, and you don't see the telephone unless you take the box off, and then there's this phone, and it's for actually making contact, because if you stay there at the suite, there is someone who's on duty all night to attend to your needs in case, like if you had children or you yourself maybe became ill or something like that, they would get a doctor for you or whatever. But as the other gentleman had said about the suite out there in Disneyland, they do provide a refrigerator that's filled with all kinds of goodies, and you can have special sandwiches pre-ordered, and they'll have sandwiches there for you to snack through the night, because once you're in there, you are locked in. Really? So you're not allowed tour at night because of the Magic Kingdom over here is quite large, and they have several types of trucks and things like that going on at night where they're sprucing up the park for the next day of guests.
Okay. So you can't get out there in your pajamas and slippers to mosey around.
No, they won't let you out to walk around. They won't even give you, an escort.
Right.
Once you go in at night, once the park is closed, you're locked in for the night.
Okay. Wow. So now for our listeners, John's going to actually post a number of photos on the Positively Disney Book Facebook page, which I'm very grateful you took a lot. I noticed that the fireplace, now, is it a gas fireplace? Is it a wood burning fireplace, or is it just sort of a decoration?
It's a gas fireplace, and it actually has heat there if you need it. If it was to get too cold, but it is an actual fireplace there in the wall itself. Okay.
Is it a large suite? How many people would it sleep in there?
It's got two large, like queen size beds, and you could probably, if you had a family, maybe 6, you could probably all sleep there. Hillbilly style.
Yeah. Okay, but ideally 4 people could stay in the suite.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. When I was there, Tom Cruise and his little girl Siri had just checked out the day before, so there was a brush of greatness, there the day before I got there.
That is really interesting because I don't know. I would imagine that the suites work the same way in both parks, that you can't really just buy your way in. But I think, but I'm not sure how that works with the Walt Disney World one.
Now the one here, mainly it was done through contest, but if you're a celebrity. Celebrities seem to get a little bit more better priority of getting into
the suite, yeah.
Yes, itself, and they would let you go in that way, and but now I think it was Mariah Carey had been there before, and also Kevin Jonas and his wife Danielle, they had been there celebrating their first anniversary.
Oh my word. I can't even imagine. Wow.
Pardon?
I can't even imagine staying in Cinderella Castle. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I begged for a night stay in it, but I didn't have enough clout. But I was still going for the tour. Yeah. But
tell me,
let's see, Mariah Carey had stayed there and her children.
Yeah. Tell me about the bathroom, because some of those photos that I saw, again, I'm grateful you can actually put them on the site, but that is a pretty elaborate bathroom in there.
Yeah, it had a sunken tub that you could actually step down in. It had the jet tub, and very nice, just below the stained glass window. And she turned the lights on. It had lights and everything, and it was just an amazing unit there that you wouldn't expect to be up inside the castle, but you could either do a shower or you could use the jet tub.
Okay, and the mosaics, I just loved the tile, the mosaic in the surrounding the tub. Absolutely beautiful. That's kind of like the same type of tile pictures, I think, as you're walking through Cinderella Castle for the guests, is it, or?
Yeah, there's tile mosaics, of course, at the tunnel as you walk through, but they had them up there. There was also in the floor, the Cinderella's carriage is on the floor, and then different depictions from the story on the wall, and also some watercolor paintings and whatnot on the wall as well, and just really cool things like that.
Yeah.
It was just very pretty, and of course, the royal bathroom was there with the toilet and everything, and it made up very well for a night's stay there. Plus the refrigerator, and then the TV, and it looks like a picture of Cinderella on the picture, but once you turn the TV on, the picture just fades away, and the TV comes, whatever's on the TV comes through.
Oh, cool. Oh, cool. I also saw, it seemed like they had a glass slipper, a wand and tiara, and some glass pumpkins or something like that inside the wall, like the actual slipper or something like that. Where was that located?
Okay, that was in the wall there, in the living room. It's like in the marble, and it's arrayed up there, and it's actually everything stable up there. You can't take it down or get to it, but it's actually there. Just, I think it's the what do they call the queen when she or the princess when she takes her wand, or not wand, but
scepter. Yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Scepter. Yeah.
It had the scepter there and the glass slippers and whatnot. So it was just really pretty, and they they had the lights over it so you could see them. Low dim lights at night. You can leave them on, and it kind of gives you the magic of being inside. And if you opened your eyes, if you happen to wake up at night, you would just see some really ornate things that depicted Cinderella herself.
Wow. So there's a room, and then there's a sitting room. Of course, the bathroom. Was there one or two bathrooms? Just out of curiosity.
It's just one bathroom.
Okay. And a sitting room, but there was not a dining room in there, I don't think. Was there?
No, there was no dining room.
Okay.
The sitting room, it kind of, if you went around like past the beds, and I think you ventured off to the left, there was a sitting room there as well.
Okay.
That you could just and talk and just read a book or whatever, and very quiet up there. I mean, just a place to go and just experience it all.
Wow, that's fascinating, because it's really neat to hear the differences, between the Disneyland one and Walt Disney World. But I mean, you've got different, actual structures that that you're working with. So of course they're going to be different. And I totally understand with, how enormous Magic Kingdom is compared to Disneyland itself. You can't have guests wandering around there at night. Now, you shared with me, and if you could share with our guests, just getting back to this. So when Tom Cruise stayed in there with Suri, how they got to the attractions. I thought that was kind of interesting, actually. Because often we see celebrities.
The elevator goes down into the cast member tunnel.
Okay.
And Tom Cruise, was seen several times, carrying Siri through the tunnel as they, went from different places in the park of the attractions, whether it was in Fantasyland or Frontierland or Adventureland or Tomorrowland or even Liberty Square. They were able to then come up. Some of the areas have elevators, and then most of the areas have stairs, and just come up the stairs through a back door, and then you could, venture out into the park then.
Right. And get on into the attractions in the the VIP section of the attraction, right?
Yeah, or you can just step right into the VIP section of the attraction and get on the ride itself.
Wow. Can you imagine? I think that would be like the VIP experience of a lifetime, really, to be able to do that, because, to be able to get onto the attractions whenever and wherever you want and however many times you want, plus the bonus of staying inside the park. I mean, that would be the ultimate cool Disney experience, I'm thinking.
Yeah, there's no lines to wait, so you can pretty well, clip off a whole day within, just a couple of hours and see everything. And then if you do want to step out into where the guests are, then you have people with you from City Hall that, that help lead you around and keep people from, trying to autograph hounds, I guess, or whatever.
Right.
But they protect their VIP guests that way.
Yeah. I was wondering, so do the people that are staying in there, are they allowed to stay in there when the fireworks are going off, I wonder?
That I do not know, but I know they clear around the castle.
I know.
In the back, they won't let you within the perimeter in case there's some fallout from some of the explosives around. Because I was even down front of the castle one time, and the wind actually carried one of the little plastic balls that explode. It actually came down and landed near me.
Wow.
In the front of the castle.
Wow.
And I still have it today, and it smelled like hot gunpowder.
Oh. I was thinking that, because I remember being at Cinderella Table one time. I can't remember I think the fireworks are going off, because they don't clear people out of the restaurant, right? So they, I would imagine if the suite is in like just over the restaurant, I would imagine they would be able to stay in there. But then you can't really see the fireworks, I think, if you're right sort of in the middle of them, right?
No, exactly. Yeah, you would not be able to see the fireworks if you're in there, because the windows are very thick glass, and as I said, you had to get up there to the very window itself, and the little center etchings of glass that was actually clear enough to look down and see the park itself.
Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious. I think that is such a wonderful experience for you, for anybody really, to have actually had that opportunity and to be invited for that tour, because I'll tell you, there's not everybody's invited to tour the suites for sure. and the fact that you knew who was in there before. And for our listeners, I have to tell you, it was a little funny when John and I were kind of messaging before the show. I think it was yesterday, we were chatting a little bit. And when I found out that Tom Cruise is in there, I actually asked John if he thought about keeping some, dropped hairs of Tom Cruise's and selling it on eBay or auctioning it off, and just as a joke. And John, he said, you had thought about the same thing for a moment too, right?
Yeah, it crossed mine.
That's so funny. Oh gosh. So how long was your tour?
I was up there probably for about 45 minutes to an hour.
Wow, very thorough.
And my tour guide, she was explaining different things, because like up in the corners of the walls, there's little ornate, character designs of like, Jacques and Gus and the birds and everything from Cinderella.
Wow.
Look around and everything. If you want to take pictures, there's just like little things to find that really are just, the best to see there, because it just brings you into the story.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, you know what? Good on you, John, because I know that it's a pretty special opportunity, and I just think you deserve that visit. That I think that's just absolutely fabulous. And I just had one of the listeners, Carla, she said she saw the fireworks from Cinderella, the royal table right next to the windows, and she said it was really magical. I would imagine those tables by the windows are the first ones to go, and you probably have to wait years to even get to a table next to the fireworks in there. But isn't it awesome that Walt Disney World has a castle big enough that can accommodate that? I think it's great that people can stay at the Pirates of the Caribbean, like over the Pirates of the Caribbean. That's kind of sweet to be able to have those little extras and be able to go out. But gosh, to actually stay in the castle is pretty amazing.
Yes, as I said, I begged for a night stay, but that when Walt was planning everything here in Florida, that the castle suite there was actually going to be for the Disney family. Oh. But sadly he died December, I think the 15th, 1966.
Yeah, 66, right.
Well, he never got to see the completion 5 years later. But and then also some people, they don't, they forget or not correlate. They think that, Walt actually stayed in the fire station here in Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World because, that was supposed to be a family suite up there as well.
Okay.
But that one was never, completed for an actual suite due to, his passing.
Right.
So.
Right. Do you think they'll have any plans for developing that above the fire hall at Magic Kingdom? Do you think they'll finish that?
I don't know. It's hard to say, and they surprise you when they do, finally, agree with what they want to, make there. And it would be nice if they would at least decorate, because I know the original furniture is now in the museum, even from Disneyland. But,
right.
They do have a lamp up in the window, and the lamp is lit at night.
Yeah.
And that's in honor of Walt. And every time I look up and see the lamp, I think of him. Yeah. But not everybody looks up to see the lamp. So I ask, if you ever come to Walt Disney World, look for the lamp that's upstairs, because that's in honor of Walt himself.
Yeah, it is. And when we were at Disneyland, because Walt walked there and was in there, I that was one of the first things I did, was look for the lamp. And it's pretty special, actually, isn't it, to see that lamp lit in honor and memory of him, his spirit being alive still, right, through all of his magic that he's created, all his work, everything that we get to experience as guests, right?
Yes, and there's also, they have in honor for Roy, they have an iron bench, which Roy's sitting there and looking at Minnie, and Minnie looking at Roy on the bench, and you can actually sit down beside them and get your picture taken with them.
And where is that bench again, John? I remember seeing it, but I never sat on it. I'm going to do that next time.
and sometimes it gets moved around. Sometimes it's
Oh,
right by the fire station. Sometimes it's right in front of City Hall, to
okay.
the side there. So just look around there in the square when you first come in to
Okay.
your left, usually sitting over somewhere near City Hall or the fire station.
Okay. I will. I'll chase the bench down.
Yeah, and it's a life-size, statue of Roy
Yeah.
sitting there, and Minnie, looking up at him. So it's just a really cute
Yeah.
picture area to have a photo op,
Okay.
and you can actually sit down there next to Minnie and it's Roy and have a
Yeah.
photo.
I love that because, even though Walt was the creative brother and this whole thing because of Mickey Mouse, Roy was really a big part of that because he was the businessman. He's the one that pulled it together, because you can create all you want, but if you don't have a business plan or somebody there working that business part of it, and particularly when Walt passed, to have Roy continue the legacy of Walt Disney World and now Shanghai and Hong Kong, the whole thing continuing to grow, I think is absolutely phenomenal, because I really I appreciate Roy's impact as well on Walt Disney World. And I remember Roy wanted to honor his brother, and I do so in my writing too, because I will never refer to Disney World as Disney World. It's Walt Disney World, as Roy
Yeah.
had wanted to do. And I just think that it's really nice that Roy was able to enjoy the whole the end product of Walt Disney World. Although I hesitate to say end, because there isn't an end; it's a constant, evolving of it. But I just think that's really cool that at least Roy got to see the park, and experience that a little bit.
Yeah, and Roy, he would get a little nervous with Walt at times. I guess you read, but he would also kind of give Roy ulcers, as they once said. But everything always came true,
Yeah.
and what Walt Disney seemed to touch, it seemed to come to life. And he always said, if you can dream it, you can do it. And
Yeah.
and that's very true. We wouldn't see what we see today and get to experience it the way we do.
For sure, for sure. John, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show tonight and telling us about your tour, because I just, as I said, I think that would be a dream of mine too. Well, that would be like a mind-boggling dream to actually stay in the suite, but it would just be absolutely fabulous to be able to walk and experience the suite, even as in a tour situation. I think that's really lovely that you got to do that and be invited to do that. Those, I love those kinds of surprises, and you're so well deserving of it. But listen, I know it's getting really late for you on your side of the country, but thanks again for coming on, and I hope you have a great evening and a particularly good week this week, John.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it's been wonderful sitting here chatting about it. We could chat all night, but
I know.
it's just a wonderful time to, experience it all. So,
Yeah.
but I thank you so much for having me on your show, and Kimberly, and hello to all your listening guests that's streaming online and wherever else, and take care, and you have a wonderful night.
Okay, thanks, John. Okay, you take care too. Bye.
All right, and now.
Oh my goodness. I love what I do. I love hearing about these experiences, and I love to hear about the things that I am not privy to see. Most of us are not privy to see on the other side of some doors in the Magic Kingdom, as well as Disneyland. Guys, we've had a very long show, a longer show tonight than I had anticipated, but I really hope you enjoyed it. And we will see you next week at 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern Time. For now, have a great evening, a wonderful week, and take care. Be safe, everybody. Bye for now.